This is something that shouldn't happen to anyone, and I'm going to tell you all about it, and I hope you stick around. Alright guys, before we get on with today's video, just have to ask if you would be so kind to consider subscribing to the channel today and selecting that bell icon so that you get notified of all our future uploads. Philippines trip is coming up fast. Don't want to miss those uploads. So please consider subscribing today and giving this video a like and some of the other videos as well. Without further delay, let's get on with today's video. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of USA to Philippines Life channel. A video today that's more than 60 seconds. I hope you guys are enjoying the shorts. I know some of you probably aren't into the shorts, the TikTok style videos, but right now we're super busy at work and we're getting ready for this Philippines trip that's coming up soon. And that's a way just to keep us active on YouTube and the other platforms. We hope you guys are following us on TikTok, on Instagram. We do the Instagram Reels and our Facebook group too. Today's topic. So I want to talk about something that happened to us. This channel is USA to Philippines Life. And as I've always said, it's about our USA life, the transition to the Philippines life, and in between, back and forth. So this is a little unfortunate thing that happened in our USA life. Some of you may or may not remember me saying that we don't own a house here in the US by choice. We rent. And the rental house that we have is owned by a dear friend of mine, a childhood friend. It is a two-family dwelling. The second floor apartment of this house was rented by a gentleman. He was probably close to 70 years old. Now he had been living here probably since around 2012. So he's been here a good chunk of time that I've been here. I wasn't really close with him. He was a little eccentric. We were cordial to one another. He was a big dude. He was single. He lived alone. All right. He was, you know, I don't want to say kept to himself, but he just did his thing, and you know, we just weren't really too close with them. Let's put it that way. So over the years, over the past, since COVID hit, we notice we're seeing less and less of the guy, and you know, you're just noticing a pattern change in somebody. To the point we're seeing them less and less. The neighbors are asking me, because I take care of the property here, so I'm out cutting the grass and doing things outside the house. So people, you know, the neighbors will stop me and ask me, hey, what's going on with so-and-so? So, long story short, unfortunately, this gentleman passed away alone in his apartment. And the reason why I'm talking about this is it broke my heart. It broke my heart in a lot of ways. And again, I wasn't close with this gentleman, but I did know him. We lived in the same place together. There were times things happened that we had to be neighborly to one another, which we were when we needed to be. But I was heartbroken by that. I really was. And it was a thing where I just couldn't take it anymore, and it got to the point where, you know, I was communicating with the with the owner of this home, the landlord, and relaying the situation, what was going on here. At one point, I felt the need to bang on the door. Of course, his telephones were turned off, and I banged on his door to check on him, and he didn't sound good. I asked him if he needed help. And he declined. So it wasn't shortly after that that I got together with the landlord and we did a wellness check, and that's when we discovered that he had passed. So I couldn't stop thinking about, first of all, how heartbreaking that is that somebody has to die alone like that. The second thing I couldn't help but think about was that had I not met my wife, Had I not been exposed to Philippines culture, had I not been bitten with the Philippines bug to where the point where I wanted to, meet a Filipina and was interested in going to the Philippines, and just had that within me from being such exposed to Filipinos and the Filipino culture, as I mentioned in previous videos, that I probably would have ended up in a similar situation as this gentleman. Just working myself to death at this job. I was coming home alone. I was in my set little routine that I was in, and I found peace in that routine. I did my laundry on a certain day. I cleaned my apartment on a certain day. I went grocery shopping on a certain day. And I was just in this routine. And again, I found peace in that. I had never lived alone before. I went from living in the house with my mom when I was 16, 17, 18 years old. 16 and a half, my ex-wife moved in with us in my mom's house, and at 18 the two of us moved out alone, and I lived with my ex from 18 years old until 16 and a half years old until I was 42 when we split up. So this was the time of my life at 42 that I lived alone until I was close to 50 when my current wife finally emigrated here to the U.S. to be with me. But I just can't help but think that that could have easily been me. Nobody was calling to check on me on the holidays and stuff when I lived alone. Nobody was inviting me for Thanksgiving. Nobody was calling me on my birthday. I was alone, all right? I was alone like this guy was alone. And again, he was a little eccentric, so I know people are going to comment and say, well, why didn't you reach out? He was a strange dude, okay? He was a strange cat. And he did his thing. He went to New York all the time. That's what I said. I didn't saw him not coming and going, like going to we have the New York, the bus right down the street takes you to New York. He was always back and forth walking to the bus stop. He spent a lot of time in New York. He enjoyed the city. That's what he did. But for me, for those people who question why Western guys go for Filipinas and go through the trouble of going to the Philippines and want to retire in the Philippines, I mean, what's our alternative? If you've got nobody here, and you're in a situation where you've been chewed up and spit out by this society to the point where you worked hard all your life, maybe you went through a bad divorce like I did. It's Father's Day today that I'm filming this. My 3 sons didn't call me, all right? They don't call me. I used to reach out to them on their birthdays and stuff, and they didn't even respond to me. After a while, I had to stop because it was too painful, okay? So here it is, Father's Day. I did get a nice greeting from my stepkids and my niece in the Philippines, and my mother-in-law sent me a nice message greeting me on my phone this morning when I woke up. Happy Father's Day. And that just touched me like you wouldn't believe. And they did last year and the year before too, but it's just something for me because I went so many years alone with no Happy Father's Day greeting, with Christmas times alone in my apartment, my bachelor apartment. All right, and I'm just saying this for the guys who maybe you're thinking about this, meeting a Filipina, you're interested, you stumbled across somebody's channel and it started to resonate with you a little bit. I look at it this way: for those of us who have been bitten by the Philippines bug, single guys like myself and a lot of you guys watching, I know a lot of you guys watching that are subscribers that have gotten to know a little bit through the comments back and forth. You guys are married to Filipinas too. You're waiting to go retire in the Philippines. I know some of you already got places in the Philippines. So we're all in the same group. We're all in the same family. We're all in the same mindset in terms of what was the alternative for us had we not gone down that path to meeting a Filipina and deciding to eventually end up retiring in the Philippines? We're going to end up like this guy upstairs, or you're going to end up in a nursing home here in the U.S. being mistreated, because that's what happens in a lot of these nursing homes. I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them, the people are mistreated. And whatever they have, you have to give up so you can go into one of these nursing homes. So for me, I have no problem knowing that my current wife, who works her rear end off at the hospital, I have no problem knowing that she and my stepkids are going to end up with whatever I have, because they show me love, they show me respect, and I know when I'm old and I can't take care of myself anymore, I know they're going to take care of me. I know that in my heart. And this is something I'm just sharing for the new guys, the guys that maybe haven't met that Filipina yet. Maybe you're, like I said, you're sitting at home watching me and watching the other channels. The guys that are already over there telling you about life over there in the Philippines. I'm still here. I'm still working. I haven't gone there yet, but my Filipino wife is here with me. I look at it like a blessing. If we get bit by that Philippines bug, we are blessed. We're blessed. It's a gift from above for you. It's a way to a nice last part of your life, the last chapter of your life. Because the alternative, staying here in the States, and I have family members and they watch the channel and they'll know who they are. And they kind of are against me going to the Philippines. And I had one family member say to me, well, there's a big difference between a 5-hour flight and a 15-hour flight being apart that much. But I say this, that family member only texts me. We only text each other. We never pick up the phone. We've not seen each other in a couple of years. And I don't see our family members that caused us to be close have passed away, and I don't see that improving at all. I don't have a desire to live in the part of the country where they live. I just as soon move to another country where my wife's from. So again, I'm just sharing this with you all because it was a very unfortunate. I've never been in that situation where I had to ask for a wellness check. I had to learn what an unattended death means and to deal with the aftermath of it. It was not good. And my prayer, my hope, and my wish for any of you guys watching this that are alone, my prayer, my hope, my wish for you is that never happens to you. And I want you guys to just take a moment and think about all those guys out there. And the ladies. There's ladies out there living alone too. Going to be fair. That are alone, have nobody. But nobody should die like that. It really hit me. Very, very sad. No next of kin. That was the big thing. They're trying to find next of kin. There is no next of kin that anybody could think of. There's one in another country, but who knows? So we're all waiting to see what happens with that now. But again, that should not happen to anybody. And if you're on the fence about stepping out to meet that Filipina, go for it, man. Do whatever it takes. Better that than, playing games here in the West. We all know what it's like to date when you're middle-aged and you're trying to date in the U.S. It's not fun unless you're loaded, unless you got lots of money, and all those boxes that the women like to check off. Must be this tall, must have this many degrees, must have a Harley, must have this, must have a full head of hair, must have all your teeth. You know, then check. You know, the Filipinos don't care about most of that stuff, do they? They care about your heart. They want a good man that's going to love them unconditionally. That's what they're looking for. There's a lot of people that'll debate that too and say, no, that's not. They just want the money. They're gold diggers. They're gold diggers. They're mail order brides. That's a big one that we hear all the time. They're mail order brides. They're gold diggers. You might have seen some of our shorts. My wife did. She addressed that a little bit. We hear that a lot. Whispering here, my wife and I. The mail order bride, the bald fat guy with the mail order bride, you know, that kind of thing. But it's sad. And like I said, you do the right thing all your life, pay your taxes, you get chewed up and spit out by this society, and then you get to grow old and either end up give everything you have up to go be mistreated and die in a nursing home, or you can die alone in your house. And somebody find you, like what happened here. Not me, man. Not me. I'm glad. Thank God I met my wife. That's all I can say. So, that's today's video. Comment below what you guys think. What's your impressions? Are you alone? Do you know anybody that's in that situation? Have you ever been in that situation, etc.? Please. It's a sad but important topic. And, you know, it is definitely, I thought, was worth sharing with you all. So if you like this video, please give it a like, subscribe. Don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified of all our uploads. Philippines trip coming up fast. End of September for a month. Be a lot of videos coming at you during that time. You don't want to miss out on that. I hope you guys will, if you're watching and you're not subscribed, that you'll do so today. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a fun ride. With that, we're going to wrap this up. As we always like to say here at USA, the Philippines Life Channel, wherever you are in the world, stay well, stay safe, stay blessed, and we're going to see you real soon with another video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and God bless.